So what is innovation? Well, innovation, defined by the dictionary, is something new or changed to a product or a thing. I define it a little bit differently. I kind of look at innovation as something that is new, different, but is seen through a different eye. I do this little thing with my kids, and it's this thing that we do whether we're in the car, whether we're going to the park. I'm the father of 3, like many of you, and you hear some crazy things that come out. But what you hear from digital natives is something really special. And what I mean by that is they don't look at the past. They don't even think about the past. They only think about what's the future. They only think about what's in front of us. So I hear comments from the back seat that says, Dad, as we play this game called Antiquated Things. Dad, those wires up there, why? What are those? You really find it funny when you start to explain telephone wires and telephone poles. But additionally, some of the things that are said is, my middle son said, isn't it just easier and faster to just send someone an email than have that guy deliver it? Makes sense. The last, but certainly not least, is some of the things that they say are things that I've never even thought about before. Like my youngest walked into the house and said, "Why don't things charge automatically? Why do we have to plug them in?" What do you mean? My oldest chimes in and says, "Shouldn't there just be something in the roof or something in the floor that just automatically charges all of our devices when we walk into a house or a room?" Makes sense. That lens is what I'm most interested about when I start thinking about innovation. Innovation starts with one person, with one thought. One person to say that's antiquated. One person to say there's got to be a better way. How do we do it differently? Whether it's the nonsense of going into an Encyclopedia Britannica and trying to find an answer, which I know some of you, like me, had to do for reports and things of that nature. Or it's walking the aisles of Blockbuster trying to find the movie only to find it's already checked out. Those are things that we'll always remember as part of our past, but someone had a different idea. Someone said there's a better way to do that. Yes, we've gone from user conference to innovation conference, but it's more than just that. For those that were here last year, you'll remember in my early days as the Lone Vision CEO, I talked about becoming your partner, your innovation partner. I aspired to be that. I was really honest that over time, I think Lone Vision hadn't innovated as rapidly or as quickly as they should, as how fast they came onto the market. Now, that isn't me pointing fingers at anyone. The business grew at an exceptional rate, and it was an absolutely fantastic ride. But if you look back and you say, what have we brought to our customers 5 years prior, you'd say a lot of what we came into the market with. So innovation is about constantly evolving, but it's becoming that partner rather than a vendor. A partner is someone who solves problems without worrying how you got to the solution. A partner is someone who sits with you and thinks through things. A partner is someone who thinks differently. Fortunately and unfortunately, at times, partners will challenge you to think differently. They'll push you to think differently. Just because we've always done it that way is typically not acceptable to those that have been a partner before. In a challenging relationship where innovation is at the core of what you do, which it is today at Lone Vision, we're always constantly thinking about how do we solve the problem before our customers even articulate it to us. Now that's a bold statement, because I've sat with many of you, and many of you have told me, you should get into this space, you should do this, you should fix this, you should do this, this is something you should add to your product. The laundry list is very long. But if we're committed to that type of behavior and we're committed to becoming a partner, or being that partner, we'll help you and you'll help me think differently. So what is the problem? What are we trying to solve? Well, if you look at the Mortgage Bankers Association reports, you'll see the numbers in 2022, 47% of mortgage bankers' institutions were not profitable. Looks like a problem. In 2023, 64% of mortgage banking institutions reported negative net financial income. In Q2 2024, 22% of mortgage bankers were not profitable. Does this mean we've solved the problem? Or have we not gotten to the root of it? We could be celebrating that we see a happy time ahead of us. But are we solving the problem by just celebrating that? Or do we need to spend time thinking about how do we make sure we don't end up here again? See, I'm not from here, from this industry. I came from innovation, I came from technology, but I didn't come from the mortgage banking industry, which I think gives me a unique lens. It gives me like that digital native in the back seat of my car, where I can look at things and say, that doesn't make sense. And when I look over the last 20 years, many of you have weathered the storm of lots of ups and lots of downs, and I commend all of you for the callous skin that you've created to get through all of that. But unfortunately, some of the big times, you've had to squirrel that money away to be able to make it through the low times. You may be sitting in your seat right now saying, yeah, we just did that. The last 20 years is clear. The ups and downs of loan origination, which so many of us tie our success or our failure to, is the reality of how this industry operates. And unfortunately, it's because of outside influences. That problem wouldn't be terrible if you didn't compound the problem with, as loan originations go down, profitability went up. If it went up in your loans, that problem wouldn't be so bad. But unfortunately, profitability goes down, according to Mortgage Bankers Association. And the cost of loan has skyrocketed. That's the compound problem. But this isn't the first time it's happened. For those of you who have the same or less hair, I don't think you have less hair than me. Those of you who have gray hair, those of you who have no hair, you know that you've been through this multiple times. And so, is the core or the root of the problem the downturn that we just had and the excitement that we see that I don't want to be the wet blanket and say, let's not throw high fives that we think we're out of this thing. But I am going to tell you, if we don't address the root of the problem, we're going to be in it for who knows when. One of the things I noticed in studying this industry is that you don't know how long the ups last, and you sure as heck don't know how long the lows last. So how do you run a business or manage a business with these highs and lows? The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. We've all heard that on Einstein's definition. Are we in that spot? Are we celebrating that we're coming out? I don't know. Are we focused on uncontrollable versus controllable? The hardest part about being in this space, talking to CEOs, CFOs, many of you in this room, the hardest part is you don't know when the highs are going and when the lows are coming. And so uncontrollable versus controllable is hard to determine. We know that we don't control inflation, home prices. We know we don't control the White House. God knows we don't control the White House. We know that we don't control government changes, legislation. We don't control those. So instead of just going with the flow and allowing ourselves to just be okay with our businesses following these crazy trends, it's time to focus on the controllable, isn't it? It's time to put focus and energy into what we can control. Before I show you this clip, my good friend Jim Deitch, who I've become close friends with over the last 2 years since I've been in this role, introduced me to the comparison of where we are in the stage of our business, the stage of our industry, in this movie called Moneyball. For those of you who don't know Moneyball, Brad Pitt plays a guy by the name of Billy Beane. Billy Beane is the general manager of the Oakland Athletics. Billy Beane is very clear about getting to the root of the problem. He's sitting in a room with people who don't realize what the root of the problem is. And Billy Beane is that partner that's challenging him. Billy Beane is the person saying, we're not at the root of the problem. We have to get to the root of the problem to solve the root of the problem. And so as I watched the movie a few times, after Jim asked me 7 times, did you watch the movie again? Did you watch the movie again? Did you watch the movie again? I saw that there were so many parallels to what we face today. There's so many parallels to what we encounter today. So as you watch this clip, Billy Beane is expressing to his people, saying, how do we take a small market product and beat the New York Yankees, the hugest market product there is? How do you do it? And it's you think differently. You have to evolve. You have to change. So my question to you while you watch this clip, are you Billy Beane? Or are you the scouts that he's talking to? Roll clip.
I mean, okay, good. What's the problem? The problem is we have to replace 3 key players in our lineup.
What's the problem?
Same as it's ever been. We've got to replace these guys with what we have existing.
No, what's the problem, Barry?
We need 38 home runs, 120 RBIs, and 47 doubles to replace.
The problem we're trying to solve is that there are rich teams and there are poor teams. And then there's us. It's an unfair game. Okay, here's who we want. Number 1, Jason's little brother, Jeremy.
Billy, that's trouble.
He certainly has had his problems off the field, and we know that what he can't do on the field.
Well, his on-base percentage is all we're looking at now. And Jeremy gets on base an awful lot for a guy who only costs $285,000. Number 2, David Justice.
Oh, no. Not a good idea, Billy.
Old man Justice.
Why is that?
Steinbrenner's so pissed at his decline that he's willing to eat a big chunk of his contract just to get rid of him. Anybody.
Exactly.
We'll be lucky to get 60 games out of him. Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
Because he gets on base. A new way of thinking. Did you ask yourself if you're Billy Beane or the Scouts? I won't make you raise your hand. But if you are Billy Beane in your organization, you have a responsibility. That means you're an innovator. That means you're willing to think differently. That the status quo of how we've run this industry for years upon years upon years needs to change, needs to evolve. Okay, Paul, so you showed us a cool clip and you've talked to us about change, but how do we control the volatile ups and downs? If I could tell you that 30%, you could show a 30% decrease in your time to close the books, a 21% decrease in accounting headcount staffing in your department, and a 10% decrease in loan fallout. Keep in mind, the industry average and acceptable in loan fallout is 22%, taking 10% off. If I told you you could do that, you'd probably sign up for it. You'd probably say, those are some pretty significant numbers. If you plug my numbers in, the good news is you already have. You've taken the first step to do that. Those numbers came from a survey many of you responded to back in 2023, Q2, Q3 of 2023. That survey reported those numbers that you said coming from other software, coming from legacy software, coming from antiquated software, coming from another area, that we saw those return on investments in putting in Loan Vision. You're innovators. Whether you know it or not, you've already taken the first step. The second step, over 150 of you have already said, let's keep going. We've upgraded to the cloud. By the end of this year, we'll have over 200 of you to the cloud. And over 80 of you made the move from legacy software to Loan Vision. You did that because you said there has to be a better way. You were innovators at that point, but it can't stop now. It has to continue. And so when I look at the Loan Vision vision statement, we came up with this to keep it simple. We came up with this to be consistent, but also to let people know exactly what we're trying to do. Empower the mortgage banking industry to operate more efficiently and more profitably. Nowhere up there does it say business as usual, let's keep doing it the way we've always done it. Nowhere up there does it say we're going to keep just waiting for waiting for the ride to slow down or pick up. Nowhere out there do we say that. We say more efficient and more profitable. So our commitment today is to do just that. How do we innovate? How do we bring those things to you? Through people, process, and technology. People. When I came into this industry, I didn't know much about it. And so I reached out to a bunch of great people that a lot of you are sitting in this room. And I asked them questions like, tell me about the space, tell me about the market, tell me about how Lone Vision could better serve. And I learned a great deal. You sit with Rob Chrisman, you sit with Michael Franantonio, you sit with Mark Wilson. These are people that are going to teach you about the business. I mentioned Jim Deitch earlier. Jim has given me quite a great amount of insight in this space for the years and years of it. So the first thing I did was surround myself with people, the influential minds of the mortgage space. These conversations are so great that I said we have to bring them to you. So these are our speakers today. And I think that's the first step in people. The second step in people is surrounding ourselves in Lone Vision. I talked with many of you about who Lone Vision was over the last year and a half, 2 years, and how we can improve. And they said, hey, listen, many of you said, hey, listen, we love the people that we talk to, but there's only one person, or there's only two people. You've got to improve, you've got to continue to build the depth of your team. So with the likes of Business Central expert and Microsoft expert Richard Nestor leading our VP of Technology, Jenna Nelson, product manager and strategic relationships, and Adria, Amanda, and Gina, who have walked a mile in your shoes, we continue to evolve the Lone Vision team to be able to better serve you in each and every capacity, to be that partner that we aspire to be. The key with process is moving from reactive to proactive. So what do I mean by how do you become proactive? We've defined that in 3 areas. Today, we're launching a few different things so you can understand our seriousness about becoming and continuing to become your trusted innovation partner for the future. So first, let's talk about education. Essentials training, advanced training, and super user training. If you're anything like me, you're probably like, I don't know what any of those are, right? Let's break them down. Essentials training, designed for new hires. So this is the feedback that was an aha moment for me. When we said, hey, we onboarded all your people, and everyone that's going to use the software was trained, and we did a pretty good job of that. Yes, you did. But we're hiring people all the time, Paul. You have to keep training them. So we've created an essentials training, which is 13 online sessions over 4 weeks, which is to be able to say anyone that's in our software should be trained on it. Anyone that works in our software, we want to invest in you. So essentials training is critical for the new people in our software. Second is advancement. This is for those who have been in the software, who can operate and navigate quite well, but want to go deeper, want to have a deeper understanding, want to be able to do some more reporting, want to be able to look at things differently. This is the advancement training. And last but certainly not least is super user training. And I'm really proud to say that we conducted 2 of these trainings this year, and they were a wild success. They sold out, both of them, in less than 24 hours. I think there was some jokes made that Justin and Ben sell out tickets faster than Taylor Swift. I mean, how riveting, right? Taylor Swift concert or Lone Vision super user training? It's about the same, right? Super proud of these companies for making that investment in themselves, in us, and in our partnership. This super user training will continue to be rolled out, and we'll continue to sign people up for those. But keep in mind, think about your organization. The people that are operating in the software, have they been trained? Are they new since you implemented? Right? Should they have some level of training or deeper level of training? This is available starting right after this conference for all of you to take advantage of. Oh, sorry, and the feedback from the super user training was outstanding, 4.6 on a 5-point scale. So we were really excited about getting that feedback and continuing to grow that part of our business. So next is system optimization, system health checks. If you don't know what these are, I understand, we haven't rolled them out yet. This is the launch. The system health check is based on feedback that you've given me. It's one thing to say, train me on your software, but what you shared with me is, Paul, there's a lot more involved. It's what's coming into your software, what's going out of your software. We need someone to look at our utilization and evaluate that. We need someone to look at our workflow and evaluate that. We need someone to do a gap analysis on what's happening in our business. We need a tech stack integration understanding. And by the way, when you're done with all that, give us an output report with your suggestions and your recommendations so we can execute that with precision. This is what the system health check is now made for. And we'll be doing these immediately after this conference. You'll see a sheet in front of you which talks about some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. Please feel free to fill it out, check a box, anything that you're even remotely interested in, and hand it to a Lone Vision employee at the end, because this will ensure that you're the first people to hear about the launch that we just did at the user conference. And keep in mind, innovation conference. Keep in mind that the innovation conference will be where we will launch all of our new products and services, and you will always have the first opportunity to take advantage or be in line for the newest and greatest. The next up is engagement. So this also came as feedback from all of you, which is self-service, knowledge-based enhancements, and subscription-based support. As a matter of fact, each one of these, and I look at a few people in the audience, came from conversations I had with you at last year's conference. You pulled me aside and said, there's a lot of stuff that we wait on for y'all to get back to us, and we could do it ourselves. Just show us how to do it. For example, why are you setting up new users? Why do we have to wait on you? Why can't we just do it? So we created a self-service initiative where we are pushing that to you and allowing you to do that. We'll continue to do self-service because that's what we're hearing as feedback, is give us more that we can do so we don't have to wait on you. Additionally, knowledge-based enhancements, improve work instructions, and on-demand videos. This is something that we've invested in and we will continue to put a ton of time into. How many of you, show of hands, have ever fixed something in your house but went to YouTube first to figure out how to do it? Right. It shouldn't be any different with your software provider. Go here, check here first. Let's see if you can do it on your own before you get a ticket and you go through billing and all of that stuff. We want to make it as easy to work and as intuitive to work with us as possible. So we continue to enhance those. Simplify website access, embed system help links. So creating an environment where it's easier to navigate, easier to work with us. Subscription-based support. I'm happy to say there are 2 companies today that are on this today. We will be offering this, but here's the deal. We've approached a couple companies already because we saw trends in the data that said, this doesn't make sense. Your tickets are going up and they should be going down. Let's talk about how we improve our relationship and create more of a subscription so we have regular meetings, regular interactions. This is an opportunity to stop with the help desk interaction and start to build that proactive relationship. This wouldn't be an innovation conference if I didn't talk about technology. And I'm telling you right now, I couldn't be more excited about what I'm about to announce and some of the products and services that we're bringing to the table. My team has put unbelievable amounts of hours in innovation and thinking about what's next. And so as we talk about technology and talking about how do we embrace it, I'm excited to tell you where we're starting. Now, keep in mind, it's where we're starting. Over the next several years, we're going to bring to market a significant amount of products and partnerships that will surely allow you to start not chipping away at your workflow so it's under one umbrella. So that's an interesting thing to say, under one umbrella. There's an ecosystem that exists around Lone Vision, but as 250 customers, we are a platform. And that platform is what most of the independent mortgage banks and bankers are using today to be able to run their software. So with that being said, we continue to find strategic areas, whether that be through buy, build, or partner. Now remember what I said about a partner. A partner is someone who doesn't care how you get to the answer, creates a transparency for our customers, but just that you get to the answer for your customers. That's critically important. And so regardless of whether it's a partnership or it's something we built from scratch, if it's what you need and it solves the problem that you're facing, that's what we're after. So creating that open architecture, creating that open relationship, and creating under one umbrella an ecosystem that better serves our customer base is what we're after. Available today. So you're seeing in front of you the display is the Lone Vision Marketplace. You can actually access the LV Marketplace. Now I'm going to already let you know this isn't the official public launch. This is just innovation conference. So it might not wow you right off the bat. But www.lonevision.com/LV Marketplace is the creation of an area for our customers to go. And what that means is you go and try to solve problems. You go and you go from identification to digestion to even purchase. This is a one-stop area that we want you to feel comfortable going into and looking at our new strategic partnerships and looking at what's in front of us. We're going to talk about in a minute Cosmos. That is one of our most strategic new partnerships that we've made in the last year. And we're excited about the announcement of Cosmos. This came as a result of you saying, we just want options. We have partners, you have partners, and you have strategic partners. We want options. We want to be able to have options. So not only will we try to bring you a solution, but we'll try to bring you options to those solutions. We launched LV PAM at the last innovation conference last year, and we'll continue to talk about what LV PAM is, the predictive analytics and modeling tool. Launching in Q4 2024 is LV Compensate. This product I'm extremely proud of. It killed me to hear that so many of you were going to outside software and something that was core to us, compensation. It made sense to me to build that and start to build that. And yes, we had a commissions module, but it didn't solve all your problems. It didn't address everything. It wasn't robust enough. You were clear. We've built a product that we believe is the industry's leading product that will take this industry by storm and be a part of our product for years to come. We will have multiple releases of it, but the early release will come in 2024 Q4. Launching in 2025, LV AI Loan Recon and LV PAM 2.0 with Git. This is like the future. This is so cool. Our first ever artificial intelligence product, and LV Git is about as cutting edge as you get. We'll talk about that in just a second. So first, let's talk about Cosmos. Cosmos is the only cloud reporting and analytics solution for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, running on Azure for fast, simultaneously report refreshes without on-premise upkeep. Designed for users, Cosmos leverages Excel and requires no technical expertise to create and share custom reports and Power BI dashboards easily. This is an option for our customers now through our strategic partnership. Excited about this, excited about the interest already that's been building. LV PAM. Our relationship with Terra Verde and Coheus is an incredibly strong relationship. It's only getting stronger, as you'll see from the headline sponsorship that they've created, or that they sponsored this time, this conference, as well as what Malin Casanueva will talk about in just a minute. So I won't ruin Malin's thunder, but I will say LV PAM is better than it was at the launch. Its top-tiering pipeline analysis, company scorecard, and closed projections have helped a number of customers in this room get better, shine a light on the darkest parts of their area to evolve and innovate. LV Compensate. This is the launch. This is the official launch. I think wherever Richard Nestor is and Jenna Nelson, these two are really, really nervous about me launching this right now. No, just kidding. They're super excited because they've been working tirelessly to bring this product to market. And it really did stem from a conversation about 8 months ago that I had with a customer. And I said, why do you use that other software? And she said, because it's better. And I was like, oh, shot to the heart. And she said, it's just more robust. It's a better piece of software. And I said, wouldn't it make more sense if it was under our umbrella and part of our solution, embedded in our IP? And she said, yes, it absolutely would. Why haven't you developed it? And I said, hold my beer. So we dove in deep, and we learned from many of you. We've had a lot of product digestion on this, and what this is a commissions portal powered by Microsoft Power Pages. It's the revamped draws and debt log tracking, and it's commissions calculation in a very robust way. We're extremely excited about this launch, and we're excited to talk to you all about this as well. This is a product that we are happy to have under our umbrella and something that we'll bring to you in Q4 of 2024. LVAI Loan Recon. The integration of artificial intelligence into loan journal reconciliation process is the latest version of Business Central offers significant potential for efficiency, accuracy, enhanced decision making. Let's just be frank on what this is. That labor-intensive process that you go through comparing general ledger with balances of external reports and trying to find those discrepancies and what goes wrong, we heard it loud and clear. You need to fix this. This is a tactical exercise. This is an opportunity for artificial intelligence to insert itself and make this process much smoother. So those hours that you spend on that down to minutes. Excited to roll that out, and we won't be launching that in 2025. LV Generative Intelligence Technology, LVGET. Imagine this, for those executives in the room. You're about to walk into an investor meeting, you're about to walk into a board meeting, you're about to walk into your executive team meeting, and you have one quick question about a part of your business. You don't need the stack of reports that someone will give you or the spreadsheets that go on forever. You just need an answer to your question. Imagine if you had Siri or Alexa that knew your business intimately, built by the mortgage industry for the mortgage industry, which means they speak the same language of you. Alexa, try that with Alexa and Siri, right? Speak the mortgage language. It'll speak the mortgage language. It'll understand what you're saying and be able to give you what you need in a condensed answer, not a long report. One of the biggest complaints I hear about BI tools is it's more information than we even know what to do with. How do you bring that down to really quick answers? You're going to hear from Mayland on this. It is pretty cool and the latest, greatest technology that we've embedded into LVPAM and the future release in 2025. So my final perspective, I'll land the plane here. Market trends are clear. Are you Billy Bean or are you the scouts? Are we challenging ourselves to say, is status quo okay? Do we follow the big ups and downs, or do we take a stand? The people, process, and technology is incredibly important as we think about what we're bringing to the table. But it's not just me saying that. McKinsey & Company says companies that focus on strategic hires / partnerships see 2 to 3 times higher revenue growth compared to competitors. Financial service companies investing in, Accenture says around process, financial services companies investing in cloud and automation technologies have seen up to 25 to 30% reductions in operational costs by automating these routine tasks. And finally, technology. Mortgage companies and other financial services institutions that invest in automation and advanced technology report 40% faster service deployment, 30% boost in employee productivity. Sources delight. So it's not just me saying this. The choice is yours. You've taken the first step to choose a partner that's committed to innovation and committed to helping you through this, but more importantly, committed to reducing the big ebbs and flows of our industry. If we invest together as partners, we will be more successful. I promise you, my team and I will continue to up our game. Hopefully you've seen that over the last year and a half, but you'll see it even more. We are committed to the investment of technology and innovation through people, process, and tech. It can't just be technology because our customers, all of you, want more from us. So it's your choice. Do you continue to follow the roller coaster ride, or do you take the step and continue to invest in a partner? Remember, a vendor shows you the way, a partner guides you through it. I look forward to innovating with all of you in 2025 and beyond. Thank you all for your time, and have a wonderful conference.